Hello everyone. So this is a question from NEET 2025. Which one of the following reaction does not belong to Lassaigne test? And we have been given four options, and the chapters involved is GOC. So we will look into these options one by one, but before that we need to know what is Lassaigne's test. Okay. So Lassaigne's test is the most reliable test for detecting the presence of nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens in an organic compound. Okay, so most reliable test for detecting nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens in an organic compound. Okay, so the elements like nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens in the organic compound are converted from the covalent form into ionic form by fusing the compound with sodium metal. Okay, so what we do is we convert these elements which are present in the organic compound from covalent to ionic form. Okay, how? By fusing the organic compound with sodium metal. Okay, so we do these things by following certain steps. The first step is preparation of Lassaigne's extract. Okay, first is preparation of Lassaigne's extract. Okay, so to prepare the Lassaigne's extract, what we do is we take a small piece of freshly cut sodium. So let's say this is the small piece of freshly cut sodium, and we heat it in a fusion tube. So let's say this is a fusion tube. Okay, so a fusion tube is a small, so this guy is a small thin walled tube. It is used specifically for Lassaigne's test, and it is designed to be broken into a china dish which contains water, and we will see that in a while. Okay, so it is a very small and even thinner compared to our normal test tube, and it is designed especially for Lassaigne's test. And we add this sodium into this fusion tube. This is the fusion tube, and then we heat it obviously under a burner. We heat this sodium in the fusion tube till the sodium melts into a shining globule. Okay, so this turns out into a shining globule. We heat it till then. Okay, sodium shining globule. And once we have heated this sodium till it has become a shining globule, then the fusion tube is removed from the flame. We remove it from the flame. So the first part is done. So the second part is fusion tube removed from flame. After sodium has converted into a shining globule. Cool. Then we have the third step. In the third step, what we do, we take a small amount of organic compound which we are supposed to test. Remember the presence of nitrogen, sulfur, and halogen. So those, or that organic compound. So we take maybe 50 to 60 milligram, then we add it, and then we again heat the fusion tube strongly till it becomes red hot. Okay, so what we do is we bought the fusion tube from the flame, and we have the shining globule of sodium here, and then we add the organic compound. Okay, and the amount is around 50 to 60 milligram, and then we again heat this. Okay, so we heat this fusion tube again in the presence of organic compound and the shining sodium globule till it becomes red hot, till the sodium, so heat till it becomes red hot, and the time is approximately 2 to 3 minutes. Good. So that is the third step. Then we have the fourth step. In the fourth step, after this fusion tube has become red hot, we have a china dish which contains 10 to 15 ml of water. Okay, so let's say this is a china dish and we have some 10 to 15 ml of water. Okay, so after this has become red hot, we plunge this into, or we force this into a china dish which contains 10 to 15 ml of distilled water. Because of that, the tube will break in the china dish itself. Okay, so I'm drawing it in this way to show that it has broken in this china dish. That's the fourth step. Then what we do is we take the contents of this china dish, we again boil it for a few minutes, and then we cool it. Okay, so we again boil contents of china dish and cool it, and the last step is use a filter paper. We use a filter paper, and below that we have a test tube. So after we have boiled the contents of this china dish and cooled it, we pour it into a filter paper, and whatever filtrate has passed through and got collected in the test tube, that is known as our Lassaigne extract. So this filtrate is known as our Lassaigne extract. It is also known as sodium fusion extract. Okay, so what have we done? We have taken sodium, we heated it till it became a shining globule, then we added our organic compound which we want to test. Then because of adding of the organic compound and sodium, they underwent fusion here, and then we collected this extract in a test tube, and that is known as our Lassaigne extract. And now since we have prepared our Lassaigne extract, now we can go through each and every option. Okay, so let us look at option A. So during fusion, if there is any halogen which is present in the organic compound, they are converted into the corresponding sodium halides. Okay, so this is an important statement. During fusion, halogens present in organic compound are converted into corresponding sodium halide. So in the reaction form, we can write it in this way, that is sodium plus the halogen, and this is from the organic compound. So they undergo fusion, we heat them, they undergo fusion, and ultimately we get NaX, that is the sodium halide. So therefore option A reaction, it does belong to Lassaigne's test. Okay, this belongs to Lassaigne's test. Okay, so we can write this statement that yes, this belongs to Lassaigne's test. A belongs to Lassaigne's test. Then we have B. So we'll look at B after a while. Then let's talk about option C. So option C, during fusion, carbon and nitrogen present in the organic compound combine to form sodium cyanide. Okay, so during fusion, carbon and nitrogen in the organic compound combine to form sodium cyanide. In the reaction form, we can write it in this way: Na plus C plus N. So this comes from the organic compound. And both of them, they undergo fusion in the presence of heat, and we get NaCN. And this is what is present in the Lassaigne extract, right? So yes, this also belongs to Lassaigne extract. So we can write C also belongs to Lassaigne extract. So reaction C belongs to Lassaigne extract. Good. Now let us look at option D. During fusion, the sulfur, if there is any sulfur present in the organic compound with sodium metal, it leads to the formation of sodium sulfide upon fusion. Okay, so during fusion, sulfur present in organic compound with sodium leads to the formation of Na2S, sodium sulfide. So with respect to reaction, we can write it in this manner: 2Na plus S undergoes fusion in the presence of heat, and we will get Na2S. So this is what is present in the Lassaigne extract. Okay, so this also belongs to Lassaigne extract or Lassaigne test. So D also belongs to Lassaigne extract. Okay, and reaction B. This reaction is based on Dumas method for estimation of nitrogen, in which we take a known mass of organic compound and we heat it with excess of copper 2 oxide. Okay, so this is based on Dumas method, and we know, the reaction can be written as C plus CuO in the presence of heat, and we'll be getting CO2 plus Cu. So what we take is, so we have this carbon from a known mass of organic compound, and this is copper 2 oxide. We heat them and we get CO2 and copper. When we balance this reaction, we'll be having a 2 here and a 2 here. So this reaction is based on Dumas method. So it does not belong to Lassaigne test. Okay. So B does not belong to Lassaigne test. So therefore we can say that, and in the question they are asking us that which of the following reaction does not belong to Lassaigne test. So the answer will be B. It is based on Dumas method, whereas A, C and D all are based on Lassaigne test or Lassaigne extract. Okay, good. Thank you.